We had a lot of correspondence, hamishandy.com/topics from Marty McFly.
Marty really wrote in. And the good thing is Marty has time too, because he can obviously, if he runs out of time, he can always just go back and send more emails from the day that he was sending us emails.
It looks like Marty has a lot of different email addresses.
Marty's got time to set them up. Marty's got all the time in the future and the past.
Company man Jono/Marty McFly joins us. How are you, Jono?
Hey, yeah, Marty here. How you going?
Marty here.
Sorry, Jono.
Jono/Marty wrote, Back to the Future 2 was the best of the three.
Sure.
But he said...
But the three together were the best of films.
And that's what he says. But in saying that, they were all great.
Yeah.
Am I right? He says rhetorically, which is good. He said, if I could give the writers of the trilogy a pencil each,
wow,
I would do it. But I don't even have a pencil myself.
Of course, referring to one of our limited edition business brunch pencils. Only 1,000 ever made in that run.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're hot property. Would you really give away a pencil if you had one, Jono?
If I have one for myself, I'd probably just have to cut it up into some segments.
Yeah, to give it to...
post it to all the writers, obviously, to share it around, yeah.
So you give a segment of a pencil, not a whole pencil.
You know, I've got to keep some for myself, and there's obviously more than one other writer, so...
That's true. Well, Jono, you hold tight there, because...
a lot of questions a young man has to face in the pencil industry.
Other side of this song, we're going to talk to one of the writers from Back to the Future, the legendary Bob Gale. After this, the Business Brunch. Joining us, Sam, on the line is one of the writers from Back to the Future, Mr. Bob Gale. Thank you for joining us in the Business Brunch.
How are you guys doing?
Bob, this is such a huge honour. If it didn't mean that I'd move my head so far away from the mic, I would lie down in deep respect of you, but then you wouldn't be able to hear me talking. We are such massive fans. It's amazing to talk to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Would you mind taking us back, if you will, to when the idea for Back to the Future came about? How did it come about?
The idea came about, Bob Zemeckis and I had always been trying to figure out how we could do a time travel movie, because we just love time travel. And we never could figure out what it would really be about. We had a title called Professor Brown Visits the Future, and that was about as much as we had.
Do you think the film would have been as successful if it was the Professor Brown Visits the Future trilogy?
Of course not. You know, this is it's an alternate timeline, if you will. Anyway, I went back to my hometown, and I was digging around in my parents' basement, and I found my father's high school yearbook, and I'd never seen it before. I was thumbing through it, and I discovered that my father was the president of his graduating class. And I looked at this picture of my dad looking very straight and proper, and I thought about the president of my graduating class was an asshole. So I thought to myself, my goodness, if I had gone to high school with my father, he might have been one of these guys I couldn't possibly stand. What would it be like if I went to high school with my dad? So when I came back to California, I'm telling this to Bob Zemeckis, and he's getting all excited. That's a great idea, yeah. And your mom, what if your mom went to the same high school?
And was pretty hot?
Turned out she was like the school slut or something.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to be nice.
That's how it got going.
That is incredible. Did you always have multiple films in mind, or was it the...
No. We had a hard enough time getting the first one made.
Yep.
It was rejected over 40 times. The script was rejected over 40 times.
Whoa. Wow. If only you could ironically go back in time and tell yourself to keep going.
There's many people that suggest that Back to the Future 2 breaks the sequel rules by actually being the best of the trilogy. It was an incredible follow-up. Do you guys have a favourite as the writers?
Look, it's like asking King Lear who's his favorite kid, right?
Yeah, I think it was Daniel.
He gets in trouble. He dies for answering that question.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, we're going to get Jono back up on the line, our listener who emailed in. Jono, we are going to give you a Business Brunch pencil. Is there anything you would like to pass on to the writer of Back to the Future, Sir Bob Gale?
Well, look, I don't know what to say. I guess if he had a pencil back then, he could have... use the eraser and not had to send it back 40 times. I don't know what to say about that yet.
Oh, Jono, I mean, you're in possession of a pencil now. You have one pencil credit. Bob has no pencils. You did write into the show saying that if you had a Business Brunch pencil, you would give it to a writer. I don't know if you expected us to call you bluff, but you find yourself here at a classic Mexican pencil standoff.
Look, what I'll do is I'll get old Bobby G's address off him, and if you send the pencil to me, I can pass it on if you like.
Oh, so you're gonna?
I'm gonna save you the embarrassment here.
Okay.
Are you declining a pencil?
It's the thought that counts.
Bob, you haven't seen these pencils.
What
They're
a
wonderful.
gent, hey?
I haven't seen the pencil. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. I have not seen the pencil.
So, Bob,
But they say ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah,
so what we've really maybe ended up with here is a situation where a young Australian hero has offered a Hollywood legend a pencil, and the Hollywood legend, in a lesson to us all, has then regifted the pencil back to the Aussie hero so that he may write a film. What an amazing moment!
There it is.
I've got to
Anything can
say,
happen with time travel.
probably a one-of-a-kind moment.
That's what we've got time for. Thank you very much to Bob, the writer
Look
of
at
Back
that.
to the Future.
And not only did he give the world Back to the Future 1, 2 and 3, Ando, but he gave a pencil.
Were you tempted to give him a mug after that?
No,
night?
man. I mean, you wrote Back to the Future. Yeah. Sure. Write every film in the world and direct it, then you get a mug. That's the level.
HamishAndy.com. Our podcast is there.
A pencil if you want that.
There's also an app you can stream all the shows. Hamish and Andy, just type it in for the app. We'll catch you. Pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure.